Mulai dari perluasan hubungan perdagangan hingga kerjasama mitigasi perubahan iklim dan dukungan untuk program-program prioritas Indonesia, Kanada sebagai negara mitra menyatakan kesiapannya untuk terus mempererat hubungan bilateral. Dalam kunjungannya ke Indonesia, Menteri Pembangunan Internasional Kanada Ahmed Hussen membawa fokus untuk kerjasama di bidang ekonomi dan perubahan iklim. Selain itu, ia juga membagikan pandangannya terkait peluang investasi Kanada di ibu kota Nusantara, serta pentingnya ketahanan pangan. Simak perbincangan eksklusif Antara dengan Menteri Ahmed Hussen berikut.
As you know, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been to Indonesia a number of times, met with both the previous president and the current president, Prabowo, and the leadership gets along very well. Minister of International Trade from Canada, the Honourable Mary Ng, was here a number of times. I'm here for a visit focusing on development, but also speaking about trade and energy cooperation. The bilateral relationship is really, really strong. Two-way trade in 2024 was reached over $5 billion, but there is now an expectation that those numbers will increase once we conclude the Canada-Indonesia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which is almost complete. That should unlock even more opportunities for businesses on both sides to find new opportunities. So I'm very excited about the relationship, and it is now stronger than ever before. Helping through addressing malnutrition by supporting an incredible Canadian organization called Nutrition International. They work in 60 countries around the world. One of those countries is Indonesia. They're here, and they provide vitamin A supplements and micronutrients to children who then are able to prevent or escape malnutrition, which is a big priority for the Indonesian government. In terms of also other areas of cooperation, climate change, we're working very closely together. Future possible areas of cooperation that both sides have expressed an interest to work together is nuclear energy. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on the sidelines of ASEAN said that Canada is ready to share its expertise and its experience with nuclear technology and energy with ASEAN countries. Of course, Indonesia has expressed an interest in that, and we've been having those discussions as well. What we do have is long experience with and expertise with nuclear energy, and that's something that we're happy to share. And part of the nuclear energy cooperation is not just on the technology or the initiatives, but also the regulation around that, because you need a regulatory system, an ecosystem for the nuclear industry to come to Indonesia, and that's something that Canada is able to share, and we are ready to work with Indonesia on that. Canada-Indonesia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement will build on the strong foundation of win-win trade and investment that already exists. Yesterday I met with a number of Canadian companies that have invested in Indonesia and that have succeeded and prospered here and led to economic growth also within Indonesia, and jobs and economic benefits for the people of Indonesia as well. The free trade the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement will lead to more of those types of opportunities by unlocking more opportunities for Canadian and Indonesian businesses to invest in each other's country. It will also enable us to work with Indonesia. We've provided $25 million to support Indonesia's ability to be ready for those types of free trade agreements by investing in the capacity building to, for example, update the regulations, to remove trade barriers, and to be more ready with goods and services for that coming future, where we will have more trade and investment. That agreement is expected to be concluded before the end of this year, and we hope that that will lead to more trade volumes between our two countries. A lot of that will depend on the raising of the profile of Indonesia as a country in Canada, but also of the different segments of the economy and the culture of Indonesia to Canadians. So I would urge both the Indonesian government, but also the cultural sector, to come to Canada and promote Indonesia a little bit more, because I think some of it is based on that. I mean, we can sign agreements, we can do more together as government to government, but ultimately it's the businesses that have to move. And we will provide the supports to enable them to do that. I'm very excited by the fact that we had over 200 Canadian companies that came recently as part of the Team Canada trade mission. That is the type of engagement that we need to see from both sides. Food security is another one, because by tackling climate change, you also contribute to food security. As I said, we're already contributing a significant amount of Canadian dollars to projects that introduce climate resilient crops that have higher yields. So you're dealing with climate change, but you're also producing more food, more nutritious food for the population. So that's one area we can work together on. Inclusive economic growth, making sure that our economic growth includes everyone, is something that I think both of our countries are working on. Energy, as I said, is another key part. The Just Energy Transition Partnership, where we move away and work together to move away from fossil fuels to embrace clean technology, which also has an economic dividend, because of course the green economy has a lot of jobs and opportunities. So we're working together, and Canada has already invested a significant amount of money. And then through our Indo-Pacific strategy, we have a huge development portion of that strategy, where we're supposed to invest in the development and cooperation between countries in ASEAN, one of which is, of course, Indonesia. Yeah, it's through the Indo-Pacific strategy. That strategy comes with significant resources, and it's focused on a number of key areas. One is diplomacy, engagement with the Indo-Pacific region. The second one is defense cooperation with the Indo-Pacific region, including members of ASEAN, and Indonesia is one of them. And then the third one, equally important, is development cooperation, which is a significant part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. And a lot of that is grants and support, but there's also FinDev Canada, which is our development bank, which is also harnessing the private sector to leverage government investments to bring more private sector investments in businesses that have a social impact in Indonesia and beyond. In addition to Indonesia, we're also negotiating a Canada-ASEAN free trade agreement. Those negotiations are ongoing. We hope they can move faster so that we can have a comprehensive agreement with the region. This is the fastest economic region in the world, and Canada is looking towards this part of the world to diversify our markets. In a very globally, economically unstable world, we understand, I think both Indonesia and Canada understand the need to diversify our markets. And so in this climate, there's actually an opportunity to deepen our economic relationships. And that's why I'm here to kind of push that along. I think that I'm very bullish and positive on Indonesia because you're focusing on human capital development. When you develop the capacity of your people to do more by addressing malnutrition, by addressing inclusive economic growth and the tools that they need to succeed, then of course, then the economy and the vision of 2045 will be achieved because you're investing in the most important resource, which is the human resource. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You're optimistic?
I'm very optimistic about Indonesia. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.